This is very exciting, seeing all the things that are outside, and I am sure that all of you have great ideas and products. Would love to showcase in San Francisco. If I can, I'm going to be very brief and just talk to you about where I think the city is going, all the great things that are happening, the startups that are happening in San Francisco, the energy, the venture capital that is happening here. This Chamber of Commerce is 175 years old. It bobs and weaves and shifts like San Francisco does. And we recently opened a space on Montgomery and Bush Street called the TechSF space. It is an incubator, open house, coffee shop, and with a partnership with Deloitte, Salesforce, and the World Economic Forum and the Chamber, we created this contest of the top innovators, and we had 150 applicants of startups who are interested in the sustainability space and helping San Francisco be the ground zero for a lot of the sustainability startups in the city. 14 top innovators were chosen. The Chamber of Commerce helps them engage into the ecosystem, so that if an introduction to the planning department or DBI or anything anywhere else. So we're starting to see these deployments. Many of them are physical things. Many of them are new construction materials, better concrete solutions, better built environment solutions. And I think that is partly where we're going now. I'll step back for a second, a little bit about San Francisco and the challenges that I believe we have. And when we talk to our members, it's really very much a design challenge. How we are going to design our way out into the next version of ourselves, how the downtown of San Francisco is going to design its way out, how the waterfront of San Francisco is going to design its way out. And to do that, though, is a public and private partnership, government and private sector. No question, no doubt, we won't go anywhere without both ends of that equation. So I'm really bullish about how tools, either AI tools or sensors, become better in us making better decisions. We've all for a long time said that San Francisco, when we make a string of good decisions, we do incredibly well. And when we have a goal, something to plan for, whether it's a Super Bowl or an APEC or something down the road, we know we have a North Star to do that. And I think that's really important right now that we focus on that North Star and what that's going to be. And we all know we can row there and have goals. Climate resiliency, I think, is for San Francisco is a really good goal. And I think our Department of Environment is doing great work in leading that, but also they need our individual help and the creativity of many of you in the room to help solve some of these solutions. So whether it's in sort of a dark way, if there is ever an earthquake here, and how we recover and how we do a quick assessment of buildings, how we actually have maybe that information in hand at the moment and it's real time, and we can make assessments of repair. Who's most vulnerable, all these kind of practical things. Even today on a super hot day, where are we pulling and using energies? Which buildings are being air conditioned but not used at the moment, and frankly wasting energy off the grid. So when we think about efficiency, and I know all of you in the technology world think about efficiency, helping make better informed decisions so they're less emotional. I'm maybe a little bit older, but there was a game called Sim City that was around. Heads are bobbing. I love that game. You make one decision, you make a bad decision, all of a sudden you don't invest in your fire department and a fire breaks out and your city is ruined, right? So how do we make these string of good decisions with 10 years, 15 years in mind? The Chamber of Commerce is very much future oriented, even though we're 175 years old, but thinking about the future. So it feels like a weird time to say the future is bright. I think it's incredibly bright. I think it's a time for small business renaissance of all types, whether it's brick and mortar or inventions and products and getting them involved. I think many people will have to trust the technology. And I think we're witnessing it even with the autonomous cars on the street. And many of us, including my family, were concerned about it. Now it's their favorite thing and they are beginning to trust it. So how we break that trust barrier, I think, is really important, getting it out there. And the Chamber of Commerce would love to help promote those ideas, promote what's capable. I think the world is really our oyster if we want to shape it that way. And I feel that San Francisco, more than any other city, has an ability to shape where we want to go and not just be victims of the tides pushing around. So we're asking everyone to giving people permission, asking them to be creative, to come up with wild ideas. They're okay. Come up with failures. They're okay. And we want to promote those as well. So I'm going to end there because you're short on time, but sfchamber.com, there's other events like this that we'd love to have you come, present. I'm looking at everyone in the room. I'm sure everyone's got great ideas. We'd love to hear them all. But thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Rodney. The best chamber of commerce in the world, not just in California. Rodney Fong, San Francisco Chamber of Commerce. Now, as you've heard all the speeches and a lot of innovation, AI for good, generative San Francisco, what we also have to put in mind, right, is digital equity. How are we inclusive? Not just from various backgrounds, right? It's just being able to have opportunities. So with that, I want to bring up our Mayor's Office of Housing and Community Development, Reymon, LaChaux, with a digital equity manager.
Thank you, Ken. Time is it? Oh, good morning, everyone. We're still in the morning time. Again, my name is LaChaux, Digital Equity Manager with SF Mayor's Office of Housing and Community Development. Thank you for sharing your time with me this morning. And like Ken said, I want to talk to you about digital equity in San Francisco. Really, what I sum up digital equity to, just in a nutshell, to simplify it, is access to what I call the three pillars of digital equity, which are number one, some of you have heard me say this before, high quality internet, right? Broadband speed internet is our ideal, right? And we consider that the road, right? And with that firmly in place, we like to segue to addressing the need for the car on the road, which is high quality devices, right? Your laptops, your tablets, your devices, so you can participate on the highway, right? And with little impediments, with no speed bumps, no potholes, right? And with that in place, we aim to address launching high quality digital literacy training programs. So some of our most vulnerable populations can participate in the digital realm. And so that's the driver's education. So we want to make sure that every San Franciscan, no matter what your background is, no matter where you live, no matter if you've been historically marginalized or disenfranchised, you get to fully participate in the digital realm, especially since we are considered the AI epicenter. You see all that technology out there in the corridor where people are doing fantastic things, and you can source your talent from San Francisco's finest, from someone from a TechSF program, from someone from Dev Missions, a CTA program. And we have, hi, Mike, I just saw you. I want to kind of talk about, because a lot of folks aren't familiar with our Fiber to Housing program, and this is done in partnership with our Department of Technology, where we bring high-speed internet to affordable housing sites across San Francisco. And we have roughly about over 15,000 households that are connecting to this propagating fiber, multi-fiber ring, right? And again, this is in partnership with CBOs like Dev Mission, like SF Goodwill, who deliver that driver's education for populations like reentry. Once someone comes home, they might have entered in the 90s or in the late 2000s, and the world looks a little bit different from when they once saw it, when they last saw it. So we want to make sure that we have those training programs there so they can succeed in the digital realm. And programs like TechSF, I think what makes our relationship and what makes San Francisco so special is that our departments aren't siloed, despite what popular belief might be. I talked to Orion, who manages the TechSF program. I've had conversations with Rodney about how do we make small businesses successful in San Francisco. And that's making sure that they're exposed and informed about the latest technology, no matter if it's an evolutionary shift or a revolutionary shift. They're aware of it and they know how to take advantage of it. Rodney mentioned APEC. We mobilized in partnership with organizations like Digital Mobility, School Lab, and the Mayor's Office of Civic Innovation to ensure businesses along that 3rd Street 94124 corridor had access to training to leverage AI in time for that huge influx of folks coming into the city with their dollars, so that these vendors, these businesses knew how to deepen a relationship with them so they can continue that relationship no matter where they were. They can order from an e-commerce platform that favorite T-shirt that they got, or if something resonated with them, they could still maintain that relationship. I want to take a moment, and I kind of highlighted some of our grantees and some of the CBOs we work with in digital equity. So we fund programs like Dev Mission, CTA, or what's the name? What do you call the program, Leo?
Community Technology Ambassadors.
Community Technology Ambassadors program, where they, and then actually Orient, OEWD, and MOCD are funders of this agency, where they source individuals from the communities, the affordable housing communities. They give them tech training. They train them on like CompTIA or something comparable to that, and they have the technical skills. But what the most valuable piece of the training is the soft skills. Is they learn how to engage with the public. They know how to, again, deepen the relationship, allow folks to build those trust and relationships so they can come in to their labs, to their safe spaces, and get access to technology, STEM, get access to training. I talked about those 3 pillars before, but I didn't talk about another pillar that's important, which is high quality IT help desk support. What happens when the car breaks down, right? Or what happens when the highway has too many potholes? We need agencies like Dev Mission to support residents with that training, and also help these young people segue into the next rung of their development and get that next tech job so they can stick and stay in San Francisco, and not just livable wage jobs, but thriving wage jobs. So those are the types of linkages and connections we have. I also want to talk about another, and I like lifting up the CBOs we work with, which is Chinatown Community Development Center. They have something called the Intergenerational Hub, where they source young people, relatively speaking, right? Secondary school age young people, high school age young people, to come and train what we call older adults, how to leverage the power of technology for completing daily tasks, right? If they don't know how to show up for a telehealth appointment, how do you negotiate that? If they have recently just immigrated, how do they stay in contact with folks in the homeland, and keep those relationships alive? So I want to close with this. If you are from the private sector or public sector today, make sure that you look to your left and right and ask the person next to you what they do. That might be able to lend to a much broader continuum of support that we can all take advantage of. So I just want to stop there and say that, and thank you for allowing me to speak, and you all have a good day.